And we are live again. For you, no time passed. For me, it was actually a couple of days because it took a little while to get back to making this video. Uh, But we are back. And right now I am in PrprLive. And there's going to be two of me. Uh, This is so I can emphasize a point, actually. There's two of me because one is a webcam capture using PrprLive's webcam function. You can use this as, your face on your webcam. And it works, as you can see. That's the bigger me right now, next to the little me right here. Little me is the game capture, so I can show you the window. And it's actually what I was running before, because I had a weird bug and it wasn't letting me do webcam capture correctly. So, now that it's fixed, I can be duplicated! Yeah, but I want to show both at the same time so you can see that you actually can do that, though you can't use the same source multiple times, or at least I have not been able to find a way to do that. So maybe someone else can, but I have not found that way. But I wanted to show you the options around here. As you can see, there's a bunch of different tabs over on the side. The Live 2D is where you pick the model, and I'm not going to show that because if I do, it might mess up what you're actually seeing, and I'd rather not do that. But it gives you a list, and from that list you can load new ones and change things out. So it lets you switch between models right there. You have some model settings, which I do not really understand at all, but they let you tweak your model in various ways based on some different criteria. Yeah, that. It also suggests that there's some special things that this can do, like blushing. Not gotten those to work in PrprLive, but I just probably am being stupid and I don't know what I'm doing. I'm sure eventually I will figure it all out and it will make more sense, but I have not managed to figure this out yet. Maybe it's just that I'm using the sample model. That's the basic version, so that's what's causing the problem too. Might be that they're just there for the more advanced model and I'm not using it. There's also rigid body settings, but there's not much here unless you understand this complex little diagram here, and I don't understand that complex diagram. So I am not going to touch the complex diagram. But I'm sure if you were looking to set up your own model in here, you might need to play with these. I will probably be playing with them eventually. But for now, I just don't want to touch them without someone here who knows what the heck these things mean. But they're there. They're there, and you should know they're there. Then we have face capture settings. This is pretty much the normal stuff that you play with all the time, because unless you hit start capture here, you don't actually move because it's not capturing your webcam yet. So every time you start up PrprLive, you will be here just to do that, and you don't need to do anything else usually here. So you do get to see what my webcam is. Uh, there's also different options that let you adjust how it handles working with your face capture. You can play with the different settings. So there's options here that you might need to play with if you're setting up your own model. There's also things like auto blink that are on for this model. When I'm in other one I'm going to show you in a second, I don't use auto blink, but in here I do. It doesn't, because remember I said that it doesn't always capture my eyes because of my glasses. Sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. It's hard to say when it's doing it and when it's not, unless you're looking carefully. So I leave on auto blink just so that it doesn't look like I'm staring at you all the time, even though I'm blinking and doing normal things with my eyes. So for now, auto blink is on. But I will change that probably when I have a more advanced model, unless there's some need not to. But we'll see. This allows you to reposition the model and enable zooming in on different parts of the model. I have not played with that yet, but I'm planning to more with that as far as zooming in, because most of the time you're only seeing the upper body of a model and not the full body. In fact, this has oh body. Oh, shocking. I just sort of get cut off in the middle. Um, I hide that really well, but I hide that so you don't see that there's like half a model here. My model that I'm getting is a full model, so there will be more of me to see, but I'm going to have to zoom in most of the time. I don't want to take up too much of the screen. So that's where that is. Uh, Repositioning too, uh, that's just to enable the auto reposition, so you go to a box that's already established doing repositioning. Here's enabling eye tracking, face capture or cursor. That picks whether it tries to follow where your eyes are looking or if it's going to follow where your cursor is looking, which are different things, usually, sometimes. I mean, sometimes you're going to be following it, sometimes not. You can also do symmetry for your eyes and your eyebrows. So if you always want your eyes to like work together, that or your eyebrows work together, and eyebrows do in fact work. Yes. But those are your basics there. There's also some advanced syncing things here, like audio-based lip syncing. I don't do audio-based because I'd rather it capture my mouth movements rather than try to figure out what to do based on what it hears. Because that's a little less flexible. You don't see me like smile as much and stuff. At least not the open mouth kind of smile that this model does a lot. This, yeah, like that. Um, you can also play in special lighting that you can have point light sources. It's kind of like setting up a game. I have not tried to really do these yet because they seem to use more resources, so I have not enabled those. But you can, and it works apparently. I only played with it a very short time, so I am not an expert on that. But you do different lighting sources, so you can have like your face in shadow if you felt like it, or other things like that. Just kind of fun to play with. GIF settings is if you're using Bilibili. That's all it seems to support right now. Um, so I have not touched that. Uh, I don't use Bilibili, so it's not useful to video streaming though. This is where you get what gives you your webcam down here, your virtual camera. You can adjust settings on it, do things like that. You can also adjust transparent streaming for OBS. Uh, it did not want to work for me, so what I did was just pick a chroma key, like I had a green screen up, and then I chroma key out a literal green color, because I know exactly what the color is, so I just picked that color, and then chroma key to that, uh, and it works pretty well, as you can see here. I'm kind of green on green at the moment, so it's probably not working as well as it would otherwise, but that's how you adjust those settings. And you can adjust the sliders a little bit too, but it's chroma keyed. Probably tell slightly. Might have a green around me. Sometimes that happens. But otherwise, it seems to work pretty well. I've never played with whatever this setting is that's red, because you can't. It doesn't let you actually touch it. System is a very short list of options. Basically, language, frame, probably the frame rate, the resolution it's running at. And you could have a really high resolution if you wanted to. But this is 720p, so we're gonna stick with that. That's pretty typical for like a webcam. I figure it's decent for a model too. You could crank this up if you wanted to. It's probably going to use more resources, so make sure you have a better system if you're doing that. But 720p seems to do pretty well. Then there's other things like multiplay, which I have not touched because I don't have anyone that I'm cooperating with. That lets you do what you see sometimes in like HoloLive streams or like with the shoujo girls and stuff like that, where they can appear uh, on the stream together and their models all move. I'm pretty sure that is how they do it, is through something like this. Though they might use their own custom apps. No idea what software they're running, because most of them don't say. Well, we know how Live uses their own program. They've been working on that for a long time. So probably very similar to this, though. And then now it has notices. I've never needed to use a notice. You can enable an animated background if you wanted to, but that screws up the chroma key. I don't know how to change this animated background effect, so we're not going to use that. You can also do a live 2D lock. I'm not sure what exactly that's supposed to do. In my testing, I did not notice any difference whether it was on or off, but that could just be me not knowing what I'm doing. So, for now, let's ignore that. And save, of course, saves all your current settings, which is probably important. And you can get rid of this by just clicking X. And as the tip will say, and you can probably not entirely read, um, it still is running in the background. You just double click to get all the screens back. But if you're running the webcam version, none of that ever shows up, which is why I'm doing this in duplication. You can see both. Now I'm going to turn off capturing the game one, and it's just me as the webcam. And you don't get the other screen info. But you do see that this is about all the extras, and you don't even have to turn it off because I didn't turn it off in the settings there. Webcam just does not include those things. So that is really handy. And there are really one free module, which gets you the live 2D animal models, which can be interesting. If you face rig this, they all seem to do work for live 2D. But anyways, they also have this new face capture algorithm that they sell. Um, I've had mixed results with it. Sometimes it works better, sometimes it works the same. So, it's hit or miss, but you might want to try using it. I'm not going to comment on it, though, because I can't say yet if it's better or not. I just haven't seen enough of a change to say either way. They also have the Node system, which, as they say, is a visual programming system that focuses on rapid prototyping and design and development by using data flow method and visual programming interface. Um, Basically, it would let you add effects, what you get within PrprLive. I have not used it yet. I did pick it up just in case I wanted to, but I have yet to use it. Um, it seems it will add a lot of the extra sort of gizmos that Facetracking tends to have, as far as like more customizability in the background stuff. Um, but yeah, I haven't touched it, and it, supposedly you can alter it in real time if you need to, but again, I haven't really touched it yet. Yet, that's the word. Yet, but I wanted to make sure I mention these before I forget about them too. So that finishes our little roundabout here. Have fun. Have fun. I will see you all later.